Morning. Oh, check one. Hey, good morning. I wasn't prepared. Let me change this background. We did a book review on DIY's channel yesterday, so let me change this background here back to our normal thing here. There we go. We can go old school and just do the truck by itself. We'll do this one. All right. So, good morning. Hope all is well. It is Monday. And sorry, I was getting my cup of coffee. Can't have morning coffee without coffee, right? Even though I did it for 30 days, you guys didn't even realize it. But we do truly have coffee. We got our Like Trucking mug. So, but good morning. I hope all is well. Hope you had a good weekend. And if you were working, I hope you had a profitable weekend or a productive weekend, whichever floats your boat. Just got a phone with NextGen, i.e., Dying Breed, and Mr. Williams, and he was an early influence on my original keto journey, and so he and I have always collaborated, and we just we've both been on the same journey, and it's been good. It's good to have friends like that support you and you help each other. You got each other's back. He's got a Facebook group called Truckers No Keto, and there's some valuable stuff there. So, anyways, if Facebook floats your boat, check it out. So, anyways, let's make this adjustment here. There we go. So, good morning. I hope you're all well, man. I hope you're all well. I had a pretty good weekend. Didn't get the lawn mowed like I wanted to, but do you ever though? It rained for a big part of Friday and Saturday. And then Saturday it ended up being real nice. The wife and daughter, they went canoeing, and the son and I, we went to Golden Corral. So just show you where our priorities are. We were going to some event. They were supposed to have food and they didn't, but they had canoeing. So the wife and daughter did that, and I took the son and I overloaded it on steak, and then I didn't have to eat for about 26 hours. It was pretty cool. So, am I a union trucker? No. So, let's get to the comments here, and then we'll go over some low board stuff. It'll be interesting to see what things are this week, because I want to show you some DAT trendline stuff that should, be ringing some alarms for you. And again, we're not going to be doom and gloom on this, but you need to be aware of what's going on in the market so you can make your adjustments and figure out what needs to be done. So anyways, old school, new school. Good morning. You are here. Good deal. This touring life, Jason. That was a good. So Jason did an interview with Pale Rider PRTV last Friday. It was a good interview. I wish I could have joined in. He does the tours, right? So he's a truck driver for the tours, music tours. And I've always wanted to do that world. I know several people that do that world. They enjoy it, and I think I'd be good at it. But like Jason said, it's hard if you got kids and family and need home time. So I never got to really dive in that part of trucking, but I would love to someday. I think it'd be kind of neat. Challenging at times, I guess the biggest challenges is some of the venues you got to go to, and then also all the downtime of just sitting. I bet you that would be hard. But anyways, Bull of Woods. I was sporting your hat the other day. I enjoy it. Thank you for the hat. Cowardly Lion, yo, nice avatar. CB, what's up? Mrs. A, my favorite person in this chat. This Trucking Life, hello. Dying Breed, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Snorelord, says Baby Gravy. SST, what's up? Next Gen and Dying Breeder, same. Yep. Yeah, he changed his name. The Greek translation for keto is tacos. That's interesting. I don't think that's true, but good morning, Shannon, from Dyer, DC, and Meyer, DC. Sorry, I'm dyslexic all of a sudden. Lansing, Michigan. I've been there. Not a bad spot. So I has no idea. Yes, priorities. All you can eat steak, my man. it was great. It was funny that this dude in front of me. So apparently, it's more about chaos than order when it comes to the line of asking for steak at Golden Corral. And this one dude just kind of cut in front of me, and he goes, "I need well done." I'm like, and I try not to be a judgy person, but I judge you if you eat your steak well done, and it's a joke. Calm down. And this guy is like, more. He puts a big slab on there. More. And finally, he had like probably about 3 pounds of steak on his plate. And he walked off, and the poor lady behind him, she wanted well done, and there was none left. Meanwhile, I asked for medium rare, and they practically barely touched the grill. And so I think I ate raw meat, or pretty close to it, which is fine. I think steak tastes better with when the less cooked it is, the better it tastes. Well done steak has kind of I don't know, a weird aftertaste, you know. So, but anyways, enough about that. Good morning, Dan's Hotshot Trucking and Outdoor Adventures. His father-in-law was a union driver, though. Yes, my father-in-law was a union driver. Mr. Chopstick, 2010. Mr. Chapstick, not Chopstick. Too much steak is better than not enough steak. Absolutely. That is correct. Jackknife TV, good morning. Mr. Charles, good morning. Hope someday you can be a union driver. Well, we'll see. Howdy, y'all. Happy Monday. If you don't get out of the truck, you will go crazy, I bet. The thing about that, though, Jason, is you probably know exactly when you need to be back in the truck. So you can like grab a rental car and see the sights, or Uber somewhere, and really kind of enjoy, especially if the tour's there for 2 or 3 days, right? So like these bigger cities, I know that like Metallica and Iron Maiden, they'll play in a bigger city like for 2 or 3 days, like LA or something like that. I think that'd be cool. I think it would be best of both worlds, because as truck drivers, we see a lot of excellent parts of the country, but not much you can do on a 10-hour break. You might get lucky and do a 34 somewhere, but then the other thing you mentioned about that touring life is that the truck's got to be good. There's no room for error. There's no room to be put out of service because of a bad tire, that kind of thing. So it the that to me would add stress, especially if I was an owner op doing that stuff. And I know that there's some that are, but I imagine the stress of the people that run those companies is probably pretty high. Red Top Rich, keto changed my life, down 45 pounds, but more importantly, blood pressure normal. Don't have to sweat getting med card anymore. There you go. Look, here's the deal. I talk about this more on my other channel, but since the 70s is when you see our health rapidly decline. There's a reason for that. The guidelines were wrong. The science was wrong. Or the science was bought and paid for. It's not that it was wrong. It was just, who funds studies, right? Who funds the studies? Who funds research? And do those people want to make you healthy? Absolutely not. So it's that simple. So, but I'm glad, dude. That was what got me keto, was because I'd seen so many success stories because look, the Atkins thing was cool, but then there was a lot of hype about how bad it was for you. And looking back, I realized that the people that wanted you to get away from Atkins are the people that want you to eat 6 times a day. They want you to eat all the processed snack foods. And and we talked about that on DIY Semi's channel last night. So, go to his channel, look at the book review we did on the hacking of the American mind, and you realize that, the cards are stacked against you. Just like you owner ops work in, a trucking business. The cards are stacked against you, so you need to be on your A game. You got to leave your ego and pride at the door and get to work and and realize that, you need to be in a strong position to make it work. Because if not, you're going to get run over. Ran over, run overed, run over. Something like that. English is not my first language. I think Snorelord is sweet on Mrs. A. I believe so. Jackknife TV, yummy steak. Snorelord, good morning with both feet. How's it going? I sure hope so, SSD. Trucking with MC, what's up? Definitely need blood on the plate. There you go. Well done. Does it take a long time, Shannon? It's been hit and miss with me. That's why I always, try to spend the night there so you don't start your clock. But yeah, it's hit and miss. I've been there an hour and I've been there 4 hours, but it's not like Kroger. It's not like that level or Target. So I always give myself a 4-hour window if I'm booking something after Myers. So Jason says yes, because I'm about to cook some bacon and eggs and other things. Pigtail, what's up? Look who funds it. Exactly, right? Exactly. I've been on 90% carnivore since February 20th. Slow process, but I love it. Down 18 pounds, slow and steady, baby. Slow and so the next thing, and that's great, TJ. The next thing I would look at is how often you eat. I know that there are carnivore people that will still eat 3 or 4 times a day, and what happens is if you're insulin resistant, you're not giving your body a chance to burn, and so that's where the one OMAD comes in, or twice a day comes in. And what I'm finding, I was just talking to Diane Breed about this. I found that my 24-hour window is better from like 1:30 to 1:30. So that tends to help. Because like I said, the boy and I went to Golden Corral, and he had pretty much a starch plate with a little bit of meat, and I had nothing but meat and a couple of vegetables. But I did indulge in some sugar-free blueberry pie or whatever, like a small piece of that, but that was it. And I felt amazing. Like usually after a buffet, like, you're just like, kill me, and wasn't even close to being hungry at dinner time, right? And next day it was about 1:30. I was tempted with the meal at church, but I didn't do it because there was really nothing good about it health wise. I mean, I'm sure it tasted fine, but I think my wife had some, so she, said tasted good. But about 3 o'clock, I decided to cook myself some burgers, and I only ate half of what I normally eat. And I don't even think I could have. I don't even think I needed to really eat at that point. It's amazing how your hunger hormones kind of start regulating to what they should do. There's a reason why they were telling people that your metabolism, you need to keep your metabolism up by eating 6 times a day. Now, think about early man. Were we eating 6 times a day? No. We were feasting. And then when we got hungry, your 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 senses are awakened. You have this energy, and then you go grab the animal and rinse, repeat. That's what our bodies are designed to do. If you think about it, that's what animals are designed to do. Carnivore animals. Now, grazers, they graze. They graze all day. What's the common denominator of grazing animals that graze all day? They're big. They're fat. So grazing all day is not the key. And so and so when you dive into this, you're like, man, we've been lied to. Why? Well, because they want us to eat 6 times a day. They want to sell you all the snack foods. It's a whole thing. We could talk about this on the other channel. So subscribe to Snorelord OG. Here, I'll say hi in the chat on the OG channel, and you guys subscribe to that. We'll go into that. We'll get into more details on that one on my morning walks. I did not do the morning walk, I think Thursday because of the rain. And Saturday I was busy, and Sunday I was busy. So, but SST cooking bacon in the truck makes everything smell like bacon for 3 days. Enjoy breakfast. There you go. Or Shannon STT. Yep. Fate, what's up? Shannon says, hi, Mrs. Lord. Yeah, I only eat once a day, most twice a day, and never hungry. There you go. Let's see. Meyer also depends on which building you are delivering to. Yes. And then your product as well. If you got like 22 pallets of bottled water, easy peasy. But if it's like 15 different SKUs on the trailer, yeah, that's going to take a minute. I have 2 or 3 eggs in the morning, bacon at times. If I'm hungry around 2 or 4, I will eat a steak, but most of the time, just 9 a.m., eggs and bacon. I drink a lot of coffee before I eat with heavy whipping cream. There you go. Dr. Berg, Thomas Dillor have some excellent keto videos. Yes. And Dr. Barry. So if you guys don't know, here, I'll let me find this. So Dr. Ken Berry, he spoke at Matt's. And that was awesome. There was about 15 people in there. And he mentions during the talk that the people that needed to be in there were outside at the food court. But I want you, so let me find this. There's the video. So what I did was I took audio. I didn't want to videotape because I didn't know if I'd be allowed, but I did audio of when he spoke at Matt's. Those of you who don't know who Dr. Ken Berry is, he's an advocate for proper human diet. He's actually a practicing doctor, and he realized he wrote a book called Lies. My doctor told me, and he basically kind of tears apart a lot of the bad research that's basically led our nutritional lives, among other things in the medical world. And so he spoke. He friended a truck driver. That truck driver lost over 100 some odd or 200 some odd pounds. So they decided to speak at Matt's, and so I did an audio recording. I took some pictures. So there's like a slideshow on the pictures on that. And I got to meet him. He was cool. He's very encouraging because I told him that I had faltered and I'd gained 40 of my 120 pounds back. That, those of you who are new to the channel, I lost 120 pounds. Don't believe me, look at videos from 3 years ago. And then I gained back 40. So at Matt's, if anybody who saw me at Matt's, I was 40 pounds heavier than my lightest when I lost 120 pounds. So after Matt's, I kicked in the gear with the encouragement of Dr. Ken Berry, and now I'm only 20 pounds away from going back to my original weight loss. So just from Matt's, which is what, been a month? Yeah, literally a month today, I've lost 21 pounds. And eating steak, eating burgers, eating eggs, but also lessening the times that I eat. Because here's what I've learned. Okay, I guess we're going to talk about health today. So if you're here for low board stuff, you're not going to get it. Maybe later, maybe in a minute. So I downloaded this book about fasting last year, just started getting into it, and two and two were put together, and I realized that this was what I needed, because all my life I was never a chubby kid. I was very active up until my senior year in high school. I was a BMXer, always active, and so I could eat what I want. What I realized is that even if you're active, if you're eating the wrong things, it's going to affect you. And at some point, my weight gain just ballooned. Years of eating ramen noodles and drinking Kool-Aid as a kid, and all these snack foods that I could, and soda that I got away with because I was an avid bike rider. Looking back, I probably could have been a much better bike rider had I eaten the right things. A lot of seed oils my dad cooked with. So I am very insulin resistant. So it doesn't take much for me to kind of get off kilter. And so at Matt's, we were indulging, and then drinking is a big part of that as well. Alcohol kind of, if you're keto or carnivore and you're still drinking alcohol, you're kind of almost defeating the purpose. So, I made a point to, after Matt's, not to do, to go back to what helped me lose 120 pounds and then some with the fasting. So with the knowledge that I've acquired with the book that I'm listening to, it's made night and day difference, and I feel night and day difference. So if you saw me at Matt's, I'm literally 20 pounds lighter now than when you saw me. So, and I feel great. I feel amazing. The old me feels like it's coming back. So, anyways, so Dr. Ken Berry, he actually commented on my video. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't think he would see it. I didn't link him at all. I wasn't sure if it was in here. I'll show you. I didn't link him at all. I didn't tag him, but yet there he is, right there. So I pinned the comment. And what was funny, the Sunday after Matt's, he went live on his channel, and I asked a question and he answered it, which was cool. It's funny watching these YouTubers not in the trucking world stumble over my name, like Dr. Kiltz. He's another carnivore advocate, and I'll say good morning to him on his live feeds, and he'll say, "Good morning, Snorelord, the meathead trucker. Yeah, we love our truckers." And then the one he did yesterday, he was like the metalhead. He called me a metalhead instead of metalhead. Dude's 66 years old. He probably doesn't even know what a metalhead is. So, but anyways, Ken Berry is very cool. But he talks about the proper human diet, which is basically what we were meant to eat as animals, as way our bodies were designed. So, anyways, I thought it was very cool that he commented, because I'm a nobody to his world. So I mean, it just is. So let's see where I lost my place here on the comments. David Edwards, good morning. Oh, Beefy Line, I see in here. Cat Lord. CDN Freight Broker. Good morning, Steve. I'm late to the show, back from my freight brokerage gathering. All I can say is, wow, a lot discussed. Insurance was number one. Most small carriers are underinsured. Causes cascade. Um, yeah, I wouldn't mind talking to you about that whole thing, because I'm sure you probably learned a few things, and you've got your finger on the pulse of what changes spot market's going to occur. So I'm just not hungry, and I tend to eat less than I did before and feel full. That's your hormones regulating. That's your hormones saying, hey, you know what? This is all we need, dude. We're good. Right? Quality of life is so much better, way more energy. Absolutely. That's the beauty of it. And you don't realize how sick you are until you change it, and you're like, wow, it's almost like a spell or a curse has been lifted. You guys seen Lord of the Rings, where the one king, he's under that dude's spell, and and Gandalf the White comes in and you know helps him get his himself back. That's literally what it's like. You're not meant to be 300 pounds. You're not meant to be a shell of your former self. You didn't start off like that. You are a shell of your former self, and the minute that you can start chiseling that away, and it's about progress, not perfection. You know, I had a piece of sugar-free blueberry pie, probably not good for me, but you know what? I felt amazing. It didn't rule my life. There was a time where it did. So, just keep on keeping on. You'll get there, and once you can feel the difference and realize that you've been lied to, and you want to have some rebellion against the big pharma owning you, because you got to take all these medications. Once you can kind of figure that out, you gain your freedom back. That's the beauty of that. Once you gain your freedom back, then you can accomplish anything. This whole spot market thing won't stress you out anymore. You'll figure it out. There is a correlation to trucking. It makes trucking a lot easier if you can be healthy. T-Bone, good morning. Spells and curses are lame. Yes, you're absolutely right. So, all right. So let's look at some low board stuff. I'm curious to see what rates are going to do. Actually, before we do that, let me do this here. Somebody asked me the other day, hey man, I'm thinking about going into flatbed. What do you think? I'm going to tell you what I think. Ready? Who cares what you think, Steve? God, what makes you so? I got this microphone. I'm going to use it. That's what makes me think I can tell you. Just kidding. God, don't get your panties in a wad. Here we go. All right, so this is DAT trend lines, freight and analytics. Okay. What I like about this is that it tells you, now this is related to the DAT board. Okay. A lot of information, like when I show you the 123 low board hot market maps, it's according to their board. Truckstop.com, they're kind of lame, so I don't even mess with them. But something that you need to learn, okay, is that you can be spot market and not even need low boards. What? No. It's true. It's true. There's a large percentage of loads that I book for my trucks that aren't on the low board. They're from brokers, but they're not on low board. So, anyways, look at flatbed here. Flatbed spot rates are up 0.3% the week of April 17th to the 23rd. And for the month, they're up. But look, flatbed spot rates, they're down 19% over the past year. Now, when people say, hey, Steve, should I go flatbed? Look at this number right here. Right here. Let's see if I can zoom this in so you can kind of get a flatbed load to truck down 80 82%. So what do you think is going to happen? That means load volumes have gone down 82% over the past year. Now, if that's not the canary in the coal mine when it comes to the economy, I don't know what is. Because flatbeds haul raw materials for construction. They haul equipment. And so and then you've added more trucks to the flatbed market. Look at reefer. Reefer's down 63% over the last year. And van is down 55% over the last year. So there's literally a little bit less than half, a little bit more than half the loads less, I guess is what I'm trying to say, than there was last year. These numbers are important because if you're trying to make a future decision or if you're trying to figure out where we're at on things, because look, you can have there was a bump up in rates last week. Look at van load the truck, went up 10% for the week. You're like, yeah, sweet. We're on an upswing, yay. But then it's down 18% from February to March, but down 55% for the entire year from March to March. Now, May just started, so these numbers are going to change a little bit. So just keep that in mind when you're feeling warm and fuzzy because, you know, load ratio went up 10%. That's a pretty big number. And what I found last week, and here's the thing, I kind of figured this stuff out before I even look at this. I was dispatching a couple of flatbeds, and I noticed that it was getting a little bit harder and harder. And I noticed that it was a little bit easier to get the rate or the loads that I wanted in van last week. There's your info right there. Now, half the loads I booked were off the 123 low board. You know, there are some brokers that will post on both. But what I liked about the 123 is I didn't have to sort through all the brokers that we can't use for Thunder Funding because that's our factoring company. And there was a lot of shyster brokers on the DAP board. DAT knows it's there. Government knows it's there, and no one's doing anything about it. So they're going to start self-regulating. And so what has been a challenge is brokers like, oh, I got to verify that you can book this load with your carrier. Oh, you need a .com address before we can give you a load. You know, all these different things, and you know they're checking carrier 411, which is absolute BS. You have I talked to a carrier that had an instance of triple brokering. I mean, it's getting insane. It's utter chaos, right? So that's something to deal with. Quick hit, what's up? I see you in here. Buck Brown. I'm just waiting for the day my metabolism activates its bend system out of nowhere. The Hool. What's up, Snorelord? What's up, man? You're up late or early, whichever it may be in your world. So let's take a 1, 2, 3 here. And we can look at DAT ratios if you want as well. I'm an equal opportunity person. Do I get a cut from the 123 low board? Absolutely. If you use my code 48065, you can get a good deal, and I get a piece of that. It's like I make like $10 a month, I think, is about what I make. So, all right, share screen. So it's not like I'm getting rich off of it, but it gives you an opportunity to check out the low board and see if there's, I have one driver that used it to make his business plan. So he bought a truck within the budget, looking at the rates, and availability, and realized the challenge of where he lives and when he needs to be home, and this is a great tool for that because you don't need a DOT number to have the 123 low board. So let's say you're at Landstar, right? You can get this low board, have an agent that can book outside freight, and help him or her help you. Rich, how do you reach out to discuss dispatch services? Rigrunnerlogistics.com. All the info's there. Also, I'm full right now. I've got 5 drivers, so 5's my limit. I can't take any more. But that's Rig Runner Logistics. Shoot me an email, and we can discuss things. See what your needs are, because I might be able to help you part time. Just depending on what your needs are, and we can help you out. So far, I'm the only person at Rig Runner Logistics. So, I mean, Jeff is the boss, but I'm the only one dispatching. So, 10-4 your flatbed, okay. Yeah, just shoot me an email, and the information's on the website there, and we can at least have a discussion, a conversation. So this is your van hot market map here. I've noticed that Arizona's yellow, where normally it's red. Missouri's green. Wisconsin, there's some snow going on up in northern Wisconsin and in the UP in Michigan. Florida's still doing pretty good. On the load ratios because of the produce, vented vans, watermelons, that kind of thing. A lot of intrastate in Texas. So let's look at Texas here. Let's take a look at intrastate and see what the rates are looking like. Because you might be able to, if you got Texas intrastate, or if you're a Texas carrier, you might be able to just bounce around Texas. See what kind of rates we're looking at. Here we go. Houston to Odessa, 1191, 220 a mile. You got to keep in mind of getting out of Odessa is not the easiest. You're looking at 1163, 261 a mile. Laredo to Grapevine, 1,000, 239 a mile. Brownsville, Texas to Temple. A lot of these are under $2 a mile, which I don't think it's worth it for short haul. 850, 254 a mile. Dallas to Midland. A lot of stuff going to Odessa, Midland area. Amarillo to Dallas. Coolmore Logistics. I've never heard of them. Let's take a look at that one. That rate's kind of low. Yeah, it needs to be up a little bit. It's 538 miles, so that's intrastate Texas, but it's still a fairly full day. Stop 1, 44 bales. Stop 2, 44 bales. So I guess it's, there's 2 stops on this. So they're at $775 for 2 stops. 2 pickups going to Dallas. Yeah. They are not. They don't have pre-approval from Thunder Funding. They got 85 credit score and trans credit. So buyer beware on this one. A lot of Houston to Nippa, Texas. Let's take a look at Georgia here. Sort by highest overall rate. Pooler to Tracy, California, they're at $4,100, $4,123, $1.55 a mile. Bismarck, making the Bismarck, $213 a mile, $3,500. As long as you got a plan to get out of Bismarck, that wouldn't be too bad. Pendergrass, Georgia, the New Windsor, New York. Let's click on that one. Is that New York City area? Yeah, it looks like it. I always forget that. Oh, not too bad. It's not like you're in the city, but it's that area. So you'd want to watch the tolls. That may not be too bad. 2,400, 278 a mile. Watch the tolls. Here we go. Pendergrass to Rhode Island. Bunch of those. This is low for going to Wyoming. Chatsworth, Georgia, going to Buffalo, Wyoming. They're at 2185. Cargo Chief is showing them at 3513. So when it comes to a load like this, if you're going to bid on this, bid high. They're counting on you not doing your homework. But normally this is a 214, 238 to 214 a mile, at least above $2. Because what are you going to get out of Wyoming? Let's take a look down here. How many loads are coming out of Wyoming to anywhere? 2. Where are they going? They're probably, Ottawa, Kansas. That wouldn't be too bad. $1.50 a mile. And then Sanger, Texas, which that's easy. That's Walmart. If you can get some out of Oklahoma versus Dallas if you want, if you go to Sanger. So that wouldn't be too bad. But look at the deadhead that you're doing. So obviously there's a shipper in Aladdin, Wyoming that USA Trucks got a hold of. My guess it's going to be beverages of some kind. Retail goods. So what's the weight on this? 38. So maybe not beverages, but still. And they're right at the average for that. You're when it comes to Wyoming, there's not a whole lot of fluctuation on the graphs there. So no loads out of Odessa. That was $2,000 lane 2 months ago. Yes, things have definitely. Well, I mean, I showed you the graphs. Things have definitely dropped off, right? CDN says GoHighway.com will become an important software in the next 6 months. Get familiar as they are taking carrier vetting and onboarding to a whole new level. Yep, like it goes back to what I said. They're going to start self-regulating. If the government won't do it, if the low boards won't do it, they're going to do it. They're going to figure it out. They'll pay next season, right? Agriculture can be tricky because of cash flow. You got to be careful with that. Docked already. Well, that's Murphy's Law, Shannon. You go to involve yourself in cooking or doing something, then you're going to get unloaded in like 10 minutes. That's how it works. Actually, let's go back to let's see what California is doing. I notice load ratios in California have changed dramatically in the last month. Let's sort by rate. It's still way below $2 a mile to come out in New York. Or I'm sorry, California. I don't know why I said New York. So you can go back up to this filter here and filter by rate per mile, if that's what floats your boat. That's what's going to bring a lot of the short hauler. Here's Compton to Las Vegas, $3.96 a mile, $4 a mile, yay, $1,100, right? A lot of $700,000. Here we go. Lodi, California to Los Lunas, New Mexico, 286 mile, 3,000. Now, what are you going to get out of there? Probably nothing. As you can see, there's not much there. So let's click on that, and I'll show you exactly what you're facing there. If you grab that, that's going to be Walmart, DC, by the way. Load of consumer goods. Loads at 9, delivers at. I don't have my calendar in front of me anymore. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Delivers Thursday, 4 p.m. No reefers, so must take the full cube. But look at their credit score, people. 72. And they're not pre-approved by Thunder, so we'd have to look them up. But let's look at outbound freight out of New Mexico. There's literally 2 loads out of Los Lunas going anywhere. They're coming out of Roswell, going to Laredo. You can haul space aliens to the border. And events in the trailer. So it's possible this might be produce as well. Oh, wait. Oh, it must be closed. So maybe, no, it's not. Who knows what that is? So New Mexico's no bueno, in my opinion. Or it's going to be a challenge. Or just prepare to deadhead out of there. Trouble is where you deadhead to? Probably El Paso. It's probably your best bet from Albuquerque. I don't know where Los Lunas is compared to Albuquerque. I've never been out there. I mean, I've been out in New Mexico plenty of times. I've never delivered in Los Lunas. So, all right, let's take a look at reefer here. Now, let's do the same thing. Let's go to California. Rate per mile, you got $4 a mile, 763 on the rate. Here we go. Los Angeles to Boise, 2650, 313 a mile. Let's see what it is. Picks up today. Well, today is the 1st, not the 3rd, right? Yeah, my days mixed up. Not bad on the rate. And then Boise, let's take a look at what Boise looks like. Boise to anywhere, 14 loads. A lot of stuff coming out of Caldwell, Twin Falls to Economowalk. That might be good. Averages are pretty low, but just depends on what it is. Let's see. Your highest paying gross revenue load is going to Jacksonville, Florida. Worldwide's got Caldwell to Wyoming, Michigan. If you get them up on that rate, that might be worth it because Michigan's a good spot for a reefer. Usually, although in today's world, you never know. So, DIY Semi, good morning. So, anyways, guys, let me look here. So we've talked enough. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, let's do flatbed real quick. Hold on. Got to be fair to all the platforms here. Let's do flatbed. So there's your reefer states that you want. Let's go to flatbed here. Step deck, flatbed. We'll take a look at California. Since we're on a California thing here. $473 a mile, $1,300 go from Nyland to Phoenix. But that's that one broker that's got a 72 credit score, so I don't know about that. Nevada, Arizona, again, all the short haul stuff. So if we do by overall rate, you go to Brooklyn for $1.88 a mile. That sounds fun. A lot of stuff going to PA. Sherway's got a bunch of that. D&L has got something going to Baltimore, Maryland, Tennessee. And see, what's good about having this on the sides, you can kind of see, okay, this one says going to Sweetwater, Tennessee. Tennessee is a green state, so let's take a look at that. Look at your averages. See where they're at. Not much fluctuation, so that's probably about what you're going to get. So you scroll down here to see what's coming out of Tennessee. There's 20 loads coming out of the whole state. And so take a look at that, where all that's going. But not a whole lot, right? So you'd want to, don't just take that color word for it. Just, look at the market. Look at the volumes. Look at the average rates. What's that lane value at? And then it's up to you to negotiate better. So, and the more leverage you have, the more negotiating you can do. That's it. If you're one of 3 trucks looking at 10 loads in Wyoming, then you've got some leverage. But if you're one of 10 trucks looking at 1 load in Wyoming, you've got no leverage. The only leverage you got is either take the load or dead head out, whatever floats your boat. CDN says, I know you focus on posted rate. Don't forget to call on loads without a rate. They might be that consistent load you've been looking for. Yes, I do not factor in, like, I just use that as a filter to see where things are at. And then what I'll do is, like, so let's say let's take a look at this Texas, right? Flatbed. There's my rate per mile. Here's Fort Worth to Sioux City, Iowa for $4,000. Wow, $535 a mile. But let's say we sort it by age. Now I'm looking for the stuff that kicks in, that's just posted, right? Seeing a lot of stuff posted ahead, but here's one. Here we go. Freight lane's got Carthage, Texas to Claremont, Florida. And it picks up today, so you might have some leverage on this one. They've actually got a posted rate. A lot of brokers are posting rates now more often than not. But here's a bunch that aren't. Tyler to different points in Oklahoma. Probably the same load. But when you're looking at lane averages, you can look at this rate check right here, right from the card here, and see what a value is. So, but I agree that's a lot of people. There's a debate on who sets the anchor, right? Who sets the anchor on negotiating? And when a broker posts the rate on the load, they're already setting the anchor. And but that has you want to know what their target rate is. So a lot of times when I call on a posted rate load, like, hey, I'm interested in your load going from point A to point B. Um, give me the info, and they'll, it's 42,000 pounds of retail goods going to Walmart. It's paying 1,500. It's like, okay, well, my target is around $2,000. How close can you get to that? And then they'll tell you they have a target rate, you have a target rate. That's how it works. Now, how you establish your own target rate, that's all up to you. If you know your costs, you can pinpoint it. If you're just asking for more money because that's the thing to do, then be prepared to defend your position. If you ask, like, let's say their target is 1,500 and you ask for 25, they're either going to hang up on you or they're going to ask you why. Why do you feel you need $1,000 over what I just posted it for, or what I just told you it was going to be? And then it's up to you to like go beyond the, well, because I want it, because I deserve it, because I'm taking all the risk. You got to go beyond and above that. So, you have a target, they have a target, and the closer you guys can meet in the middle, you're good to go. And that's a term that they use. You might go, well, I'll do it for 2,000. They're like, well, I'm at 1,500. And then you go, well, okay, I'll come down to 18. And they're like, well, can you meet me in the middle and do 16? What middle is that? So, you just got to be aware of the terms. And CDN, if you're still in here, the next book that DIY and I are reviewing is the negotiating book that you sent me. So that's our next book. So negotiating is if your life depended on it. So I think it'd be something that we can all can learn from. So it'll be good. But anyways, I'm out of here. I got work to do. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. 48065 if you're interested in trying out the 123 low board free for 30 days. If it's cool, dig it. You get it for $35 a month with all the tools except for Cargo Chief. That's an add-on. And which, I've survived many years without the Cargo Chief, so it's not like you have to have that. And you'll get a good discount. So but anyways, thanks for coming in. I should be going live tomorrow morning on the small channel, Snorelord OG. Make sure you go check that out. If you're interested in coming to Like Trucking, we do have some trailers available. Go to liketrucking.com for more info. If you're interested in the dispatch service, go to rigrunnerlogistics.com and maybe we'll have a conversation. And with that being said, thanks for watching. Strength for today, hope for tomorrow. Aggression turns the screws. See ya.